2-1 in region play. Coach Long, just a very workmanlike performance tonight by the Falcons.
Yeah, went on the road, was able to get a big region win, a very key region win against a hard-nosed team. You know, to think that they didn't have their quarterback tonight, didn't have one of their key skill guys, and maybe others. Man, they play hard. You know, credit to their coaching staff and credit to the kids for just how much of a fight they give. And man, they really had a good plan tonight.
And it's a tough week because it was fall break week, which means you have to deal with changing the schedule up a little bit, no school, you know, your Friday schedule's messed up. What was that like, just trying to keep everything kind of between the rails this week?
Yeah, it was, you know, I was a little worried at first. It was an off week because Monday we thought we were going to have a JV game, so we didn't practice until the evening. And then the rest of the week, we didn't practice until the afternoon. Then the rest of the week we practiced in the morning. And overall, I was pleased with our attendance. I think the guys knew what was at stake, and I get it. You know, it's fall break. You know, we're wanting to get out of town and do certain things, but we had a game, and again, overall, I was pleased with our discipline and how focused we were.
And that is a kind of a hallmark of the team this year, is just kind of the growth that they've had to be able to handle this week this well.
Yeah, a sign of being mature, a sign of, you know, having goals and wanting to accomplish some things. So, you know, kudos to our guys for the way they handled fall break.
Falcons win 35-7 tonight at Seymour High School. You know, in the region, you're now 2-1, and you put yourself in a position where you're very likely going to earn a playoff spot unless things really get strange down the stretch of the season. You go now into a bye week after fall break week, the kind of the strangeness of getting ready for a bye week.
Yeah, I think the mindset is you're either getting better or you're getting worse, and that's cliche and people say it a lot, but that's really the truth. And I think we got to make sure whatever the week looks like, because we're still trying to figure out what it'll look like next week, but whatever it looks like, we want to just keep sharpening our axe, and we want to try to keep getting better. You know, even 8 games in, let's find something to get better at and to try to make ourselves better going into these last 2 regular season games.
The Falcons have now won 4 games in a row on a hot streak right now, and really one of the hallmarks of this stretch of games for the Falcons is getting off to a quick start. Seymour got the ball first, you get a quick stop, and then quickly down the field, Javon Molden hits Derek Smith, 46-yard touchdown pass as you take a 7-0 lead early in the ball game, and really early in the ball game, it was the Derek Smith show.
Yeah, and you know, always looking for ways to get him the ball, always looking for ways to try to get him involved, you know, whether he's getting it or whether we're trying to, you know, play off of him in a way. He's a great playmaker for us. He's a leader for us, trying to lead the right way. And I appreciate that with him. And, you know, he's a playmaker, love getting him the ball. Javon made a good pass right there. And our line, you know, our line, that particular play, you know, one of our linemen is always asking for that play, which is Larry. So, you know, just happy to see the guys get to make those plays. And, you know, we watched a little bit of the live stream a little bit ago, and it meant a lot to Larry for that play to work out the way it did.
Well, and tell us a little bit about the growth of this offensive line. You've got some guys that have played a lot of football, much like in other spots on the team, but you've also had to throw in some new faces and move people around this year.
Yeah. Credit to, you know, Coach K, Coach Collar Long. You know, he's down there with those guys all day, every day, because he coaches offensive line and defensive line. But as far as on the offensive side, those guys have really just bought into the everyday coaching, the everyday technique, the basics, you know, having your hand in the right place, moving your feet, trying to run off the football, being physical, being aggressive. You know, and those guys have really bought in. I think we're getting close to being a cohesive group, you know, not 5 guys, but one group, you know, one disciplined group. And I think they're enjoying themselves, you know, and I think they're enjoying kind of what we're doing and what's asked of them, and I think they know that they've got high expectations.
And you've had some guys banged up on the offensive line throughout the year. Definitely the case again tonight. And you have some depth now on the offensive line where you can patch some of those holes.
For sure. And then having guys that are ready, you know, and last week we were without Guerin, and then this week we were without Killian. So being able to not miss a beat, having guys out is key. And that's one thing going into the bye week that we want to try to stress is, let's get on our feet a little more and let's be fresh going into Carter week.
The Falcons lead 7-0 in the football game. Get the ball back. Molden hits Derek Smith again, 47 yards on the touchdown pass, 13-0. Just the key of getting off to a fast start against a team like Seymour that's been struggling a little bit. Why is it so important just to have a 2-touchdown lead early in the game?
Yeah, you want to try to establish yourself. You want to try to get ahead. You want your defense to be able to play with a little more, just a little more confidence that, hey, man, our offense is doing well, so let's go try to get it back to them. And that hopefully moving forward that we continue to be that team that can start fast, get off to a good start offensively, and try to get the other two phases, in a situation where they can be successful as well.
Seymour answers back, and they were kind of in a tough spot as their starting quarterback was out, and then the backup quarterback gets banged up early in the ball game. So they're kind of trying to come up with a plan, and they have a fine running back in Ryan Gibson on the night, 23 carries for 155 yards on the night. But the Falcons, as the game went along, was able to kind of make some adjustments and slow down their running game a little bit. But he gets a 13-yard touchdown run, and it really seemed like Seymour had gotten some energy when they cut the lead to 13-7.
For sure, and credit to their coaching staff and their kids. Man, they played great tonight. I thought being shorthanded, the quarterback they started with gets banged up, and then they're able to still, do some things and have some success. And he was tough to tackle. Strong, low to the ground. Low center of gravity, just difficult to bring down, and he really played hard tonight.
And I know throughout the week, not only you, but also Coach Brown talked about just how dangerous this Seymour team was. They haven't won a game yet, but they've played some people very tough and have lost several close games right at the very end. So it was probably from a coaching standpoint, Seymour got your attention, and that was a message you tried to convey to the team throughout the week.
Yeah. Didn't want to have a letdown this week because you're watching them on film, you're checking the scores, you see that they've been in games when it mattered. Madden Guff, their quarterback, is a heck of a player. And with the things that they're doing with them, and again, their coaching staff has done a great job with those guys. You just didn't want to have a letdown. You didn't want it to be a situation where we went in there, just kind of half-stepping. And I think our guys bought into that. Coach Brown really hammered that in this week, and I think we responded, well enough to take care of business.
And the first half was really a contrast of styles. Fulton was scoring very quickly, especially in the first quarter. Seymour putting that long drive together and trying to play ball control. And when a team does that, it's very important for the offense to score every time they have the ball. For
sure. When we kind of noticed that they were waiting until the play clock went down and just trying to take the air out of things, we definitely tried to speed it up a little bit, and getting to the bus afterwards and seeing that it was 9:36, I definitely did not think the game would be over before 10 o'clock tonight.
So Seymour at 13-7, it's very important for the Falcons to answer, and they did exactly that. Molden hits Derek Smith, third touchdown pass of the game for Molden, third touchdown catch for Derek Smith, a 22-yard touchdown pass. The Falcons led 20-7 going into halftime.
Yeah, key force, very key force there to be able to go up 2 scores again there before the half. Felt like we liked the matchup with what we called there. Good execution up front. And Javon made a great pass, and Derek ran a route, and, we were able to execute there.
What were some of the things you talked about at halftime with your team?
Well, Coach Brown just kind of started with our defense and just said, hey, guys, we got to be better tacklers, obviously, but we also got to make sure we're doing what we're coached to do, being where we're supposed to be. I heard him say that there's no secret play, there's no secret scheme that we can do. It's just about doing your job. And, I think we made a little tweak here and there to try to get somebody else on the field. But I think it was more of a gut check, and you know, we challenged them about, hey guys, you know, we said 24 was going to be difficult to tackle, and now we just got to get off blocks. You know, we got to do what we've been coached to do. So it's really more so about what we're doing. You know, we didn't talk much about schematically what they were doing. It's like Fulton wasn't doing their job, and we just left it at that. It wasn't a lot of yelling. It wasn't a lot of getting after people. It was just, hey guys, be who I know you are. And, you know, the challenge was play to your standard. You know, play to your standard.
So Fulton at halftime leads 20-7. Fulton gets the football first, drives down the field, and Seymour stops the Falcons on 4th and goal. I know that had to be a disappointing turn of events.
Yeah, a little bit frustrating there because I felt like, you know, we had you know, some things that we liked based on how they were lined up, and we just didn't execute. And, you know, once you get inside the 20-yard line, it's got to be automatic. You know, it's got to be a mindset, and we didn't get it there, and that hurt. You know, proud of the way we responded, but that one was pretty frustrating.
But it sets you up defensively. Seymour gets the ball at the 4, and the Falcons are able to force a safety to make it 22-7. And really, that was maybe the biggest turning point in the ball game right there. Is you turned that bad field position for Seymour into points.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Defense. I mean, that was three consecutive plays where we got after them pretty good. I think that was 3rd down on the safety. You know, guys were fitting the gaps. We were pursuing like crazy. We were, you know, getting back to who we are defensively and doing the things the right way. So, I mean, I was pleased with the way we responded, you know, and we talk about that a lot. Hey, guys, you know, a bad play is not a bad day. You know, it doesn't have to be a bad day. It doesn't have to ruin it. We just play the next play, and we responded that next series, and I was proud of that.
And I heard Coach Brown talk throughout the week about he saw some things on film last week from the team playing team defense. Lots of white shirts around the football, and that was the case especially in the second half.
Yeah, you have to. You have to. It needs to be 11 guys flying to the ball like wild men, you know, and trying to be, you know, trying to get as many hats to the ball as we possibly can. And you know, those type of defenses have been successful here. Just flat out get after you and run to the football. And we will need more of that as we head into this next game.
And the Fulton defense held Seymour to 7 points on the game. That was the fewest points Seymour has scored all year.
Wow. And again, you know, very impressive. Very impressed with that. Coach Brown, you know, he's doing a phenomenal job with our defense and what he's asking the guys to do. I think we're pretty bought in. We just need to take our focus and our discipline to a whole nother level this next week and then the following week as well.
So the Falcons get the safety, and the thing about the safety is it normally sets you up with pretty good field position, and that's exactly what happened. You go with a little wrinkle to the offense. You get Rajon Womble in at quarterback. The Falcons go right down the field, and Albert Johnson gets his first of 2 touchdowns on the game as the Falcons go up 28-7.
Yeah. That was a big drive because you didn't score the first drive. You didn't score a touchdown, and we wanted to make sure we punched one in there. Rajon, dynamic, you know, he brings a different element as far as being able to pass and throw. I like the way he managed the situation because he probably didn't expect to go in there, and he managed it well. He handled it well. I think the guys rallied around him. So proud of the way that moment went there for us and that drive finished off.
Yeah, that was a big turn of events in the game that really kind of put it away for the Falcons. But talking about your offense, first half it was doing a lot of damage in the air. Second half you're doing it on the ground, kind of out of wildcat formation. There's so many things right now this team can do offensively. You've got a lot of options.
Yeah, blessed to have those guys and thankful to have those guys. And I think guys are identifying some roles for us, you know, and I appreciate guys being bought in. I appreciate guys' willingness to kind of move around because we move a few guys to different places to try to give some different looks. And, you know, and I think our guys are bought into that, and I think our success has been because they bought into that.
And the Falcons close out the scoring in the fourth quarter. Another touchdown run by Albert Johnson from 5 yards out to make the final score 35-7 over the Seymour Eagles. A couple of milestones in the ball game. For Derek Smith, he goes over the 100 career reception mark. He now has 101 on the year and 29 career touchdown catches. Pretty impressive for Derek Smith.
Yep. keep getting him the ball, keep letting him do his thing for sure.
And then on the running the ball side of things, Albert Johnson goes over the 2,000-yard rushing mark for his career. And you take a look at Derek, you take a look at Albert. Again, we've talked about this before. Two guys that really have been key parts of this football team for 3 years. And to see them having the success that they're having right now has to make you really happy for sticking with the program and seeing the fruits of their labor.
Yeah, and those guys have been pretty locked in since day one. I think I'm even more proud of who they're becoming off the field because I think they're seeing the importance of everybody rowing in the same direction. They let me coach them, they let me correct them, they let me speak to them in a way that, hey, this guy needs you to encourage him, or this guy needs you to say this to him. And I'm just thankful they're on our team because they're great football players, but I think they're great young men as well.
So the Falcons now 5-3 on the year, going into the bye week 2-1 in region play. What are some of your major focuses for this week coming up without having a game?
Yeah, we got to get better. Russell, we got to get better. There's still things we need to work on. We need to tackle better. We need to run off the football on the line of scrimmage when we're on offense. We need to move people. I think we need a little more understanding of what we're trying to do, and I think there's room to get better. Even after playing 8 games, I think there's room to keep getting better. I want to continue to grow. And I think there's room to. I think we got to heal up a little bit. We got to take a little bit off our bodies, but I still think there's room to get better. And I'm excited. I think our guys should be excited right now. Where we are in the season, where we are in the program, I think the guys should be excited and chomping at the bit.
Do you like having the bye week this late in the year?
If I could choose a bye week, maybe I wouldn't wait until after the 8th game. But I think for where we are now, having a few guys a little nicked up, playing okay, I think I'm okay with having one right now because it's kind of let's reset, let's stay sharp, let's get some guys back hopefully, and then let's go at this next game, fully loaded.
Carter will be the opponent in 2 weeks, and it's kind of a similar situation with years past, playing Carter towards the end of the year because there's a lot on the line as far as standings in the region.
Yeah.
The last 2 years this game's been played at Carter. Finally, the Hornets will be coming back to Bob Black Field on the 25th to take on the Fulton Falcons, and it's going to be a big challenge and a really big football game.
Yeah, big game. Games that you should want to be in and you should want to be a part of. And, Carter's got a good team. They're explosive. They're big. They got a really good quarterback. Defense gets after you. So, I'm impressed with what I've seen from them so far. But, man, it's a big game, Fulton has been in a lot of big games, and this is just the next one on the schedule. And the mindset is do what you've been coached, get after it, and everything we always talk about is always going to be the expectation. But, we don't want to make it any bigger than what it is because we want to just be able to go play our game. But, playoff implications are on the line.
And I think it will be extremely important in 2 weeks that the Fulton family, everybody be at Bob Black Field to support this football team.
That would be so awesome to have a packed house. It would be amazing, and it would mean a lot to our kids, because they're really trying to make the Fulton community proud, and it would mean a lot to see a lot of our fans there early, 6:50, so when we walk down the stadium, they can see how much their efforts have meant to the community, and that would really mean a lot.
Well, we want to issue a challenge to everybody to make plans to be here in 2 weeks on the 25th as the Fulton Falcons take on the Carter Hornets. It's going to be a big one because seeding for the playoffs are at stake in these next 2 games. Of course, the 25th against Carter, and then on Halloween at home at Bob Black Field. So 2 home games to close out the 2024 season, and both of them are going to be big ones as far as the playoffs and playoff seedings go. But the first will be Carter in 2 weeks, And we hope that you will be here and you'll hear us talk more about this in the next couple of weeks as we get ready for this football game. Coach Long, congratulations on the win tonight, and enjoy the bye week, even though there's not much time to relax.
No, none at all. Right back to work Monday.
That's Fulton head coach Justin Long. The Fulton Falcons win tonight over the Seymour Eagles by the final score of 35-7. Next home game for the Falcons will be in 2 weeks when they take on the Carter Hornets. That will be on October 25th. And, of course, we'll have the broadcast for you on WKCS Radio and also on our WKCS Radio YouTube channel. We invite you to join us in person at Bob Black Field for that game on the 25th against Carter. We want to thank Nicholas Slagle for being our technical director and holding everything together. Robert Sheffield in the WKCS radio studio making this broadcast possible. So for everyone here at WKCS Radio, wishing you on this winning night, the Falcons win over Seymour 35-7. Good evening, and thanks for watching Fulton After Dark.